Matt Roberts with D1 Ticker, joined by brand new Marshall president, Brad Smith. How we doing, Brad?
Hi, Matt. Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. I actually want to start with the interesting piece of your background. 10 years as a CEO of Intuit, obviously, I think as I looked this morning, maybe 170 some odd $billion market cap company. So how can you analogize leading a company of that size with a multitude of different units, tens of thousands of employees, to higher education, leading an institution like Marshall, which is your alma mater, and specifically the role that athletics plays for your institution?
Well, Matt, it's a great question, and I appreciate you putting the comparison out there between what happens in the private industry, leading a Fortune 500 company, and what happens in academia. But it really all comes down to two things: people and results. And the role of a leader is to inspire others to basically achieve shared objectives. And that's what I had the opportunity to do, working with very talented people in the Silicon Valley for 20 years and being the CEO for the past 11 years. And I am blessed to have the opportunity to serve as Marshall's 38th president and have the chance to do the same thing in an institution that has a track record and a history of winning. So I feel like it's going to be very analogous, and I'm looking forward to this opportunity.
People and results. Let's start with the second of those, results. What can Marshall Athletics become? What is the aspirational goal for the representation of the institution through its success on and off the fields of play?
Well, let's start with who Marshall University is. We are a storied franchise with a history of winning. Our program began in 1837 as a university, and then in 1895, we played our first football game on November 14th. We were innovators in the sport at the time. We had the Tower Pass, which gave us an unfair advantage, and we were able to win many seasons. Ultimately, 75 years later, on November 14th, we suffered the tragedy of a plane crash that took the souls of 75 individuals. But when you step back and look at how our community came together after that, we rose from those ashes, and what we have produced are national championships, bowl victories, pro athletes, athletes who succeed on and off the field. And the opportunity for us now is to build on that. And what I'm hoping to do with this next athletic director is to bring someone in who respects our past, but helps us realize our full potential and recognizes that we have a lot of game left to play, and the next 185 years are going to be the best 185 years.
There's a lot of game to play. What attributes, qualities, experiences does this new AD need to have the best start of the next 185 years of Marshall Athletics?
Matt, we're looking for a transformational change agent, someone who has the ability to unleash that unrealized potential. And to do that, we think there are three attributes that the next athletic director will need to embody. The first is an innovative leader who comes with critical thinking, creativity, the ability to collaborate, and the ability to inspire others through very inspiring communication. The second thing they need to bring to the table is the ability for us to see results, both in the athletic arena as well as academics and ultimately administratively. And then third is they need to have a reputation and a strong network that is unimpeachable. Someone who is very strong in the NCAA, someone who's strong with their peers, and someone who is strong with student athletes. And we think that if we get that next athletic director who comes in as a transformational change agent, who is committed to delivering on innovative leadership, brings that track record of success, and has the ability to lean in and show through their network and their reputation who we're capable of being, then Marshall will show the world just who we are.
Is that track record of success, having done it in the AD chair before, how important is that in your estimation?
Well, having experience as an athletic director is definitely a plus, but as you know, experience comes from a lot of different arenas. And so what we're really leaning into are those three attributes: someone who can be that innovative leader, someone who can show a track record of success in whatever field they've been in, and someone who has a great network and a strong reputation.
Given your own background, I'm curious how much affinity you may have for someone else with a background that is non-traditional for college athletics.
Well, it certainly doesn't rule someone out. I think I have been blessed to be an example to say that you can find someone from a different part of the world who has the kinds of skills and characteristics and experiences that you believe you need at this moment in time and put them in a different position. Now, I realize I'm day 2 into the job, so I have to prove that that choice was wise. But I am absolutely willing to look at individuals who have that same sort of background and skill set for the athletic director as well.
Your style and this role will report up to you and your executive leadership team. Run us through how you prefer to be managed and to manage.
Well, I don't believe anyone ever enjoys working for a genius with 1,000 helpers. In fact, when I think about leadership, I don't think leadership's job is to put greatness into anyone. That greatness already exists. A leader's job is to create the conditions and the environment for that greatness to emerge. So what I hope to be known for is someone who gets aligned on what success looks like, sets the environment up so that individual can be successful, and then gets out of the way. I'm a big believer in empowering someone to do the job they know how to do and being a resource and someone who can help them overcome barriers when they run into issues, but let them do their job.
You know, the state of West Virginia is known for a great many things. And from an industrial standpoint, some candidates may look at this opportunity and wonder about the trajectory of some major industries within the state as it might impact the potential to fundraise at a high level. How would you respond to that?
I would say, first of all, we have an unfair advantage. Marshall University is our pro team. They are the team that the fans root for here. We don't have a professional sports team in West Virginia, but Marshall University stole the hearts of everyone in the state as a result of that tragedy in 1970 and because of the winning results we've had since. And so we have a lot of support from individuals, regardless of whatever means they may have. But the second is our state is in the middle of a renaissance right now. There was an article just published in the Wall Street Journal talking about we are one of the beneficiaries of people removing to new locations where they can live, work, and play. We have a tremendous set of new entrepreneurial efforts going on across the state. We've attracted large employers like Virgin Hyperloop to come into the state. So right now we have a renaissance of industry who can and will support our universities and our athletic programs. And then we have a tremendous base of loyal fans and those who understand what Marshall stands for and what we're capable of being.
Interesting. How much during your time at Intuit and since, because that was until 2018, have you kept in the loop on the granular developments of college athletics, which is a sort of a lead into what's the learning curve for you in college athletics?
Well, let me start by saying I never stopped spending time understanding, watching, celebrating, and just enjoying college athletics. It's been a part of who I am. I have worn this Marshall ring since it was a gift to me from my mother and father many, many, many years ago. So Marshall athletics and college athletics in general have been a part of who I am, and I'm excited about it. In terms of a steep learning curve, I don't need to be an expert in college athletics. That's why we have athletic directors and world-class coaches and student athletes and all the programs that support them. What I have to do is create the environment and the conditions for them to be able to be successful. So I won't pretend that I know how to do the job of an athletic director, but what I will do is create an environment where a great athletic director can come in here and achieve their full potential and help us achieve ours.
We wish you nothing but the best of luck in the search. We hope to talk to you again soon down the road after you've made your hire. And thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Matt. Go Herd.